we're ready to begin the final part of our newsletter, finishing it with Report 110-85. See page 440. We're going to start in GDP again. We're going to move to lesson 110. Double-click Report 110-85. Click Next, and then open Report 109-83 to create Report 110-85. You should be seeing newsletter as far as you finished it in part 2 of the last lesson. And we're going to follow these steps to finish the newsletter as shown on pages 441 and 442. Place your insertion point directly in front of the first blank line underneath the last line of text in column 3, right before the section break. Here we're going to insert file 110A. So move to the Insert tab. In the text group, you click Insert an Object and Text from File. Scroll down to the F's if they're in alphabetical order, and file 110A. Click Insert. Okay, now we'll be coming back to that later, but for now we're going to move over to the Focus on Dallas-Fort Worth section and insert a picture in the space to the right of the heading Focus on Dallas-Fort Worth on the second page of the newsletter. The picture should be associated with the concept of focusing on a subject or associated with Texas. I like the idea of Texas, so let's insert clip art. I'll move over here, but it doesn't really matter. We'll be moving the graphic anyway. I'm going to search for Texas. I'm going to choose this plain blue one, the first result. Okay, it is very large, so click it to get the size handles and then reduce it to under an inch and move it right up here in the corner as shown. If you're having trouble moving it or getting it to the right place, check its text style of wrapping. It needs to be square or in front of text. In front of text is best for this. Okay, next step. Insert word art about the size, same position as the word art at the top of the bullets or list on the second page of the newsletter. That's in the third column with the words Texas Tidbits. We're on the Insert tab. Move to word art. I am going to select this style. It's hot and sizzling like Texas. You can change the font or the style and color to coordinate with the newsletter as you creating it. You'll need to adjust the size, and you can do that with the size handles as I'm illustrating right here. Once it fits on the page, you're good to go. Next step, 8. Create a simple text box about the size in the same position as the one at the bottom of the newsletter to hold the information about Thistle Hill. Okay, move to the Insert tab, Text Box, and Draw Text Box. You can take advantage of this extra space here in the second 2 columns and draw it right here. Remember that the formatting marks we have showing will not be showing. You can turn them on and off to test your design. Okay, we have inserted the simple text box. If you have chosen one of the text boxes instead of drawing it, you need to delete the text that is in it. And while we're in that box, we're going to insert file 110B. So back to the Insert tab, Insert Object, Text from File, scroll down to the F's, file 110B, just like this, and click Insert. We're going to have to adjust our box a bit to hold all of the text. It's not there. Let me see how much we've got. Okay, just to the end of Elite. There is a space after that that doesn't belong there, as we know. GDP counts those wrong. I think there is a little bit too much space above the title here, so I am going to come to my line spacing, click line spacing options. See, it has 12 points before it. I am going to take that down to 6, and then it fits there quite nicely. I'm going to move it to the left just a bit so that we mesh with the line coming down from the column. Alright, next step, delete the outside borders and add a fill color or effect to coordinate with the picture that's going to be at the left of the next box. We're going to save that step until we get our picture inserted. Step 11, insert a picture at the bottom to the left of that text box associated with information about Thistle Hill or Texas. Notice it is about some kind of a mansion. So back to the Insert tab and Clip Art. I already have the search for Texas here, and we have the Alamo. I'm not sure that's quite accurate for this, so let's go back and search for mansion. Since I have a lot of blue in mine, I think I'm going to choose this one. Seems to be just about the perfect size, so I don't need to drag or size it anymore, but you may depending on what you choose. Now let's go back to the second part of step 10, actually all of step 10. Click our text box and then right click and click Borders and Shading. Here we're going to remove the line by clicking No Color, and then under Color or Fill Effects, let's click there and see what options we might have. We can do a gradient, so let's do 2 colors and choose a light blue as our second color. That may be a little too light, so let's add another blue to go with it. And there we have our box filled. Now we're still working in this text box as we jump back down to step 13. Select the title, Thistle Hill, and change to Calibri. We are Calibri bold. It is bold and 18 point. It already seems to be those features. Now it does not say italic, so let's take that off. I like it better as italic, so I'm going to leave it on, and I certainly won't count it off either way. Now, still working at the bottom of the second page here, we need to create a simple text box and refer to your textbook that will be at the bottom of the newsletter to hold the information about tours. So let's go to Insert, Tab, choose Text Box, and draw a text box. And as you see in step 15, if you have any text to delete in your text box, please do so. Then change to Calibri, size 12, bold. Bold is the only change I have to make at this point. Center, and then type. Let's make it like the example in the book. Then move to step 16. We're going to remove the lines around the text box. Format text box. No line and no fill. Okay, now you're ready to look over your newsletter, make whatever adjustments are needed to make it look attractive. Use the illustrations on page 441 and 442 as your examples. Then save and close the newsletter, returning to GDP. And remember, GDP will not score this document.